Hello, I'm Karen Lee and I teach art at high school level. In this video, I will be unpacking a standard using the National Visual Arts Standards. The National Visual Arts Standard is divided into four main artistic processes: creating, presenting, responding, and connecting. I have chosen Standard CR 1.1a as the main standard to unpack in this video, but I'm also applying Standard CR3 1.1a within the same project. Standard CR3 1.1a states that students should apply relevant criteria from traditional and contemporary cultural contexts to examine, reflect on, and plan revisions for works of art and design in progress. I apply this standard heavily along with Standard CR 1.1a because the project is based on drawing, self-assessment or peer feedback, and revision. Both standards are part of the overarching anchor standard that focuses on creating. It describes creativity as generating and conceptualizing new artistic ideas and work. I chose CR 1.1a as the main standard because it is mainly what we encourage in the art class, and I think it's the overarching standard that connects them all. Another reason why I chose this standard is because of the description of enduring understanding, which is creativity and innovative thinking are essential life skills that can be developed. I like the word developed here because it's not pertaining to the stereotypical idea that creativity is something you're born with. It is definitely something you can develop with time and the right conditions, attitudes, and behaviors. Some essential questions posed by the standard are: what conditions, attitudes, and behaviors support creativity and innovative thinking? What factors prevent or encourage people to take creative risks? How does collaboration expand the creative process? So let's unpack the standard. I will talk about the big ideas and skills together as they are connected in many ways. The big idea of the standard I have chosen is to use multiple approaches to begin creative endeavors. The process of creating something benefits from developing the skills of investigation, planning, and making. These three skills are necessary artistic processes that usually take place when someone creates something. Other key words for this standard are creative process, innovation, imaginative play, collaboration, observation, investigation, planning, goal setting. I listed an example of specific performance tasks that should be demonstrated for the standard. The first one states, students will understand that proper proportions in the drawing of a human face are determined by the relationship between size and placement of facial features. The second one says, students will blend a range of values to demonstrate volume. I think the great part about this standard is that it can be applied to many other disciplines, for example, when writing an essay in English class. The standard fulfills the basic need of people to create and teaches the skills to accomplish it. Since a lot of what is done in an art class is based on projects and the development of artwork, I begin by thinking about a project that encompasses various standards. Within those projects, I create activities for formative assessment and practice. For this video, I chose a self-portrait project to show how I help students meet the standards. The project description is to create a self-portrait with a background that demonstrates something about themselves. I start with a formative assessment to see who can draw portraits and has an understanding of proportions. Once the first self-portrait sketch is finished, students do a self-assessment with this handout that shows proportions and how to apply them. I will continue with activities to teach them the basic rules of proportion and also make them practice how to draw different facial features. Next, they do a second sketch, applying the new skills, and use this checklist to check if they have included everything they have learned. And after their second sketch is complete, students do peer feedback using this printout containing a list of drawing criteria and a drawing of a face to indicate areas of improvement with comments. Once they have a grasp on proportion and facial features, they would start brainstorming and investigating about what to include in their background. After all this planning, they may experiment with new or familiar materials or learn to use a new material. Students may do a final peer feedback after they have added value to check that they have blended and added value in the correct areas. It takes a lot of planning before starting their final piece, but I always find this planning worth it and students learn a lot from it. For ELL students, I have translated all handouts and given them the vocabularies necessary for the lesson. The translation is done within the same handout so students can begin making connection of terms. These handouts and assessments are glued in the sketchbooks so they can reference back to them at any time. When I do peer assessment, I usually pair them with fluent English speakers as they will help them with pronunciation and listening. Students can use their drawing and also the handouts to refer to the areas they are talking about. Alright, we've come to the end of this video, so thank you for watching and I hope you've enjoyed it.